You've heard a lot of talk about bone broth and how good it is for you. We're going to dig in deep now with Dick's Ave Diner owner Randy Gross. He's going to tell us all about it, and he's passionate about this. Have a look.
First of all, it's a pleasure to bring this incredible news to you. We have been researching, I have been for 8 years, the pathway for wellness. The human body was built for wellness. One of the ancient foods that I have discovered through all these different doctors who could not get well from a standard of care, they found themselves going back to the old pathways of eating bone broth as a staple part of their diet. And what I want to talk about today is 8 benefits that we see and 8 awesome things that bone broth will do for your body. Bone broth offers a laundry list of body boosting benefits. For one, it's a great source of protein, about 6 grams per cup. And there are minerals like calcium, phosphorus, which is good for the bones and the teeth, potassium, which helps move nutrients into the cells and moves waste out of the cells at the cellular level. And that's not all. The number one benefit of bone broth is that it has the power to help heal and seal your gut. A cup of bone broth every day can help you with leaky gut syndrome, but it's also good for protecting non-leaky guts, according to Jill Grunwald, a holistic nutrition coach and founder of Healthful Elements. The gelatin in the bones typically is used for making broth. It comes from parts of the animal such as knuckles, feet, and other joints. It has been said that every part helps the part that you take it from. And the gelatin in the product helps in the process of healing the gut lining. It's said to help heal up holes in the intestines. People who have leaky gut syndrome have a porous intestinal lining. And this patching can help ease chronic diarrhea, constipation, and even some food intolerances that people have developed. Not to mention it goes down easy. And that's why dietitians recommend bone broth as the best hangover foods for patients with food sensitivities. Number 2, it helps us with our joints. And taking glucosamine supplements has long been used as the first line of treatment for people with joint pain, but it turns out that bone broth has glucosamine too. Unlike pills, the broth offers other nutritional and health benefits that can help reduce pain. Chondroitin sulfate, which is found in cartilage that protects joints, for example, has been shown to help prevent osteoarthritis. Keep your collagen strong. Number 3, according to Daniel Auer, a holistic medicine doctor based in the San Francisco Bay Area, the real benefits of bone broth is the low and slow cooking process, which breaks down the bones and the collagen and the connective tissue of the meats. And as you sip the broth, you take in collagen, which is a building block of cells found everywhere from your skin and your bones to your brain, and gelatin, a form of collagen that aids in digestion, both of which he says incredibly have healing properties. Experts are torn on whether you can gain the skin firming, joint strengthening benefits of collagen by ingesting it through the mouth, but studies have shown an improvement in skin's elasticity and fine lines from collagen supplements. You can learn more about this as to whether you should be adding collagen in your diet. Number 4, it helps you to sleep better. And I have this firsthand. An 81-year-old lady with her 83-year-old husband came into the diner a week after taking bone broth, a cup each every night before they went to bed. And she said to me, she said, could it possibly help me? I would go to sleep and I wake up fitfully an hour or so later, and then I would toss and turn all night. And every night I drank this, I slept soundly through the entire night. And that's just one anecdotal example of how bone broth has helped our customers. So there's a lot more for this and how you can improve your sleep patterns by what you eat and other data that we'll be presenting later. Number 5, it supports a healthy immune system. And of course, right now with all the COVID-19 chatter, one of the most important things that people should be eating for is to heal their gut so that your immunity comes out of the bottom section of your intestines. And if you were to consume bone broth every day, you would give your body the best opportunity to be strong by creating full immunity naturally through food.
Is it in the form of a soup that you would consume it?
Bone broth can be consumed many ways. The primary way is to consume it right as a liquid in the form of like a tea, drinking it in lieu of other things. The second most common way would be to put it in a soup. Third would be a stew. The only problem with that is portion control, because it is such a valuable product for healing. You could lose track of how much you're consuming if you put it in a soup. Right. So it's good to follow that to portion control. The immune system, Dr. Mark Sisson, he calls it, he's the author of the Primal Blueprint. He goes as far as calling bone broth a superfood that can strengthen the immune system. Number 6, it increases your bone strength. The phosphorus, magnesium, and calcium in the bones seeps out in the cooking process, leaving you, every sip, you're taking in these vital nutrients for building strong bones. Number 7, get some bone broth protein. We're not suggesting that you use it as a source for all your protein. Although I have people that are going on bone broth diets, one lady in particular suffered horribly from IBS, and she had 4 other major chronic diseases coming on all at once. And she needed to do deep medicine rather than going the pharmaceutical pathway. She chose a bone broth fast, and in a matter of 40-some days, she lost 30 pounds. Ooh. And she also experienced a real transformation of healing her IBS and all of her other main markers, like her A1C.
She was a diabetic?
Yeah, and then blood pressure, all these different things begin to come into alignment as time lapsed consuming the bone broth. So yeah, bone broth is an excellent source of protein. It's completely bioavailable, meaning that your body doesn't have to process it. It just absorbs it right in. The body knows what to do once you put the right nutrition in there. The next one, number 8, is it allows you instantly to eat healthier because of the nutrient density. We had one nutritionist in the diner who was saying that if you drink more than 1/4 cup, you're making very expensive waste. Oh. Because it is so nutrient dense. I encourage people to consume at a cup at a time, yeah. And then up to 3 cups a day. Like the lady doing a bone broth fast, she consumed 3 cups a day of bone broth, and that's all she consumed. And she didn't lose muscle mass, but she lost an enormous amount of weight and felt fantastic. Because
all from bone broth?
Just from bone broth alone, yeah. So while bone broth trend might have started with the drinkable bone broth in a cup, there are many other ways that you can consume it. And there are so many pathways to follow with it. Like, it's an excellent way to cook rice, to take your dry rice and cook it in bone broth, and the incredible flavor of the bone broth then turns that rice into something delectable.
So it is a superfood.
It really can do incredible things. So we just wanted to get a quick 8 things that bone broth does that's amazing, and we're very excited about it. We're wanting to get the word out to more and more people how they can improve their health and strengthen particularly their kids. Children today are very compromised in their health as well as adults. And I'll just summarize it this way. America is the wealthiest country in the world, yet we're number 37 in health. We spend enormous money on health care, on drugs, and it's just insane if we were to just eat the way that people did a century ago and go back to natural foods and just eliminate consumption from the center aisles of the grocery store, eat only around the perimeter, eating whole foods, preferably organic, vegetable, along with bone broth and some grass-finished meats, and then find what pathway works best for you as far as what you should eat, and then take it from there and just listen to your body, and you can find health and wellness.
That's awesome, Randy. How many different types of bone broth do you have at the diner here?
Currently, our best flavor and best seller is turkey.
Okay.
We are purchasing turkey carcasses from the Misty Knolls farm up in Vermont, and producing some extraordinary bone broth with that. Okay. As well as we get in grass-finished turkeys, and their bone broth is exceptional too. Okay. The other species, we get bones from grass-finished beef cows, and we also get carcasses of chicken from Misty Knolls as well, and make chicken bone broth.
Turkey, chicken, and beef then? Okay. Well, thank you, Randy. We look forward to hearing a lot more about this.
Thank you.